Well, our schools are changing quickly. This is even happening now at the very conservative Brigham Young University, which I don't think I would ever send my kids to anymore. They've changed. The campus has been taken over by radicals, in my opinion. There is a new report out from a 9-member committee tasked with making recommendations to the university how it can improve racial equality on campus. They have 26 key findings, how to create a more equitable world for students. This is great. First thing, they had to put together an Office of Diversity and Belonging. Oh, that is great. You know, that'll fit right in with the new Vice President of Diversity position that they've created, which is beautiful, beautiful. Are
they acting like, is BYU become like every other college? Are they uniquely bad? I don't know much about.
No, they're every other college. You know, I'm down to one, Hillsdale.
One college in America.
One college in America, Hillsdale. My wife and I have
I have to ask you.
Yes.
Liberty University.
Liberty University is pretty good. I'm concerned about their direction, but they're better than BYU, not as good as Hillsdale. And I don't know what it'll be like in 2 years. I know Hillsdale will stand.
At what time does Prager University turn into an actual university? I mean, he's got the name recognition already.
I think the university thing is bunk anyway. My wife and I have this conversation, and we never finish it because she's like, "I'm not going to talk to you about this right now," because I keep saying, "I'm not for sending the kids to college. They can go to Hillsdale."
I said this. I had this exact same conversation, and I said Hillsdale as well to my wife this weekend.
Yeah,
I was like, "Look, I am not paying."
Exactly
Tens of thousands of dollars a year to ruin my son or my daughter.
It's exactly
I'm not doing it.
You and I should have an intervention with our wives. We should bring them together because that is the conversation we're having. And Tanya keeps saying they have to have a college education. Just because you didn't get a college education and you made it doesn't mean that everybody has to have that it doesn't mean that people shouldn't have it.
Did Tanya go to college?
Yeah, she did.
Because this is where I win this battle, is because my wife also hates college.
Oh, see, I lose because she did.
Yeah, because
and I believe that higher education is important.
Yeah,
not for everybody. You know, Try to find a plumber. Try to find a plumber. I have.
Believe me, Glenn, as a person who just had rain coming through their ceiling from a burst pipe. I've been doing a lot of this.
So
it's not always easy.
I have a friend who is really crafty who said, I just had somebody working on my pipes today. I said, how did you get a plumber? Because here in Texas, everybody
if you're a plumber right now and you're like, I don't know, what do I feel like doing? You should just come here.
Yeah.
Just put a sign up outside.
I'll think about it if you give me your car. He said, I couldn't find a plumber. He said, so I just hung out at Home Depot in the pipe section. And he said, all these plumbers were there. And I said, hey, are you a plumber?
That's
like,
brilliant.
Yeah. He's like, I will give you $500 just to come to my house. It's not a big fix. $500 cash right now.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, really smart.
That is brilliant. And then, some sucker is, got an hour late for their appointment, but this worked out well for the plumber. That's a great idea.
I know. That's why I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sharing it.
Well, now everyone's going to do it. And now no one's going to be able to get any appointments unless you go to Home Depot.
First come, first serve. God bless the United States of America while it lasts.
That is, but you're right. Not everybody needs to go to college. But I mean, if you want to, there's certain jobs that are really, it's really important. However, when you step back from that moment for a second, what is more important? Is it more important to have your son or daughter be qualified for a job they may or may not grow to hate?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it more important that they keep their foundations? They keep their moral foundations.
Singing to the choir.
They understand American
history.
history.
Preach on.
They understand capitalism.
Amen.
They understand that there are a couple of genders.
Can we get him an amen? You're exactly right.
Vital. This is why I've been really focused lately on school for younger people. You mentioned this earlier today. We keep saying Oh, open up these schools. Why aren't they open up these schools? Open up these schools. And then every time we talk about the schools, it's about another horrible thing happening in the schools.
I know. It's
and
why
I
said
why
today.
are we arguing so hard?
We should be celebrating that our kids are not going to school.
Or open up the child torture rooms.
I know.
Why? They keep closing them because of COVID. Open up the child torture rooms.
Right.
It's it is, yet I will
It's like
acknowledge
the
it's the
Uyghurs.
right argument for when it comes to COVID. It's true they should open them up
Right.
if they're going to exist. However, you shouldn't want your kid there if you can do
But
anything
if the
about it.
Uyghurs in the indoctrination camps, they're definitely not,
No.
concentration
They're learning centers.
They're learning centers. It would be as if COVID closed down the Uyghur Learning Center in China, and all the parents were like, "Why aren't you getting my kid in that learning center? What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?"
It's a great opportunity to
Yes.
be able to say, hey, look, and I know private school can be expensive, but number one, conservatives should be figuring out ways to help people pay for it, if that's part of it. And number two, there are other solutions. Obviously, homeschooling is one of them. But this pod learning thing, I think, is a really innovative in-between step.
I do too.
Where there's small groups that, a lot of times parents would share the teaching responsibilities hire one tutor to do all the work.
It is exactly how we started teaching in this country before.
Which worked out pretty well.
Your little teeny community would get together and you'd hire a teacher or somebody in the community would teach. And it was fine. And it's so much better. It is so much better. But we're just, what comes to mind is we're doing things. We'll send our kids so they can gain the world. But they lose their soul. I'd rather have the soul than gain the world.
What is more important?
I mean,
how is it a question for us? I understand that. Look, your kid grows up and they become an adult and they get to make their own decisions. That's the world. However, we don't freaking have to pay for it. I am not writing a check to pay for my kid to be ruined. If they're going to be ruined, they're doing it for free. I'm not paying a cent for it.
You are because you're still paying taxes.
Well, yes. Stop reminding me of that.